Hello grade 9 students, this is English class with teacher Nita. Today's lesson is about a grammar. It is called relative clause. So you need to know what are relative clause for. We can use a relative clause to join two English sentences or to give more information about something. So two English sentences together means two sentences become one sentence, and also it can be used to give more information about something. There are two types of relative clause. The first one is defining relative clause, and the second one is non-defining relative clause. Before we go to defining relative clause and non-defining relative clause, we need to know about relative pronouns. Today I'm going to teach you only three main relative pronouns, such as who, which, that. So it can be subject or object. But in object, who can be replaced by whom. So you can either use who or whom. We use who for people and which for things. And also we can use that for people or things. But that, when you use with people, it is informal. So grammatically correct is who. First one is defining relative clauses. You can call it as restrictive, identifying, or defining relative clauses. It gives detailed, necessary information. They are not put between commas. So don't forget that it is necessary, meaning it is important. Look at the example. The first one, the people are very friendly, and another sentence is the people live on the island. So we want to combine the information of these two sentences together. So you can use as this: the people who, or you can use that, live on the island are very friendly. So you can combine like this, or you can combine like this: the people who or that are very friendly live on the island. The next example, the camera cost $300. Another sentence is the camera is over there. So you can combine as the camera which or that cost $300 is over there, or you can say the camera which or that is over there cost $300. Next one, the house belongs to Julia. The house is in London. So you can combine as the house which or that belongs to Julia is in London. Or you can say the house which or that is in London belongs to Julia. So this is the way to use relative clause in the sentence. You can combine two sentences together. In this case, it's about the clause after the object of the sentence. Look at the example. She loves the chocolate, which or that I bought. So we want to explain the chocolate that I bought. Number two, we went to the village, which or that Lucy recommended. So you want to explain the village, you use which or that, and then you explain by putting another sentence. Number three, John met a woman who or that I had been to school with. Number four, the police arrested a man who or that Jill worked with. So this is the way to use relative clause as the object of the sentence. The second part is non-defining relative clauses. You can call non-restrictive or non-identifying or non-defining relative clause. So the clauses give interesting additional information which is not necessary to the meaning of the sentence. It means it's not important. So these clauses are put between commas. You can know that it is non-defining relative clause by looking at the sentence. There are two commas in front and at the end of the relative clause. So when you use the clause after the subject, look at the example. My boss, who is very nice. Look at this one. We can see a comma here and a comma here. So who is very nice? Explain the boss, my boss. And then you can write lives in Manchester. Number 2, my sister, who I live with. So who I live with explains my sister and then knows a lot about cars. Number 3, my bicycle, which I've had for more than 10 years. So which I've had for more than 10 years is the sentence or the clause that explains my bicycle. It's falling apart. Number 4, my mother's house, which I grew up in, is very small. So which I grew up in explains my mother's house. Next one is when a clause comes after the object. Look at this. Number 1, yesterday I called our friend Julia. So you can use the clause with one comma because it is at the end, it is the object. So you use relative clause to explain our friend Julia. So our friend Julia lives in New York. Number 2, the photographer called to the Queen. So who looked annoyed? So who looked annoyed is the clause that explains the Queen. Number 3, last week I bought a new computer, which I don't like now. So which I don't like now is the clause that explains the new computer. And the last one, I really love the new Chinese restaurant, which we went last night. So this is the end of the grammar relative clause. You can go to these websites so you can learn more about relative clause. Thank you so much.